of salt here is to keep the drivers on the road safe. The roads get really wet and slippery when it snows and rains, and we have to put this salt here so that the drivers don't slip down the road.
Well, that's great! Don't we love salt then?
No, we definitely don't love road salt. There are many things wrong with it.
Oh no! What is the problem?
Well, annually we use over 22 million tons of road salt, and it has to go somewhere.
But where does it all go?
Well, as you can see, this lake, which is now frozen over, the salt eventually comes off the road and goes into the lake. Then it'll break down the sodium and chloride ions in the water, and that eventually will leak back into groundwater.
So? We drink the water all the time and we seem to be healthy.
Well, it's not all about humans. It's about the fish. Then we have no more fish left.
Well, what are we supposed to use instead of salt? I mean, without road salt, the cars will be slipping all over the place and accidents will occur. We are, after all, more concerned about human safety than stupid fish.
So, what are the alternatives to salt?
You can use better types of salt. Instead of using chloride-based salt, you can use potassium-based salt. And instead of using salt at all, there are alternatives. You could use clean sand, or you can make runoff stations and it can catch all the salt before it goes into the lakes.
Oh, wow! But that seems like so much work and thought to be putting into something so simple as salting roads. Plus, there are a lot of roads to salt in such little time!
Is it possible for you to use too much salt?
Along with the types of salt, another problem is the efficient usage of salt. See right here we have this big clump. Salt should be applied more evenly and spread out along the ground so that we don't use too much. A nice kind of salt that we could use is a blue heat deicer. This shows up and is visible because it's blue, so you can spread it more evenly along the ground and not end up using too much. Let's take a trip to go learn about the different kinds of salts.
Okay.
On the way, we'll have Kimmy read us some interesting facts about road salt.
A quote by Baker. People simply expect to drive on dry pavement 4 hours after a snowstorm. Our expectations are very, very high. The good news is many agencies are using alternative chemicals and new technologies that allow less salt to be used. Unfortunately, many of these approaches are prohibitively expensive. According to calculations by Larry Baker of the University of Minnesota Water Resources Center, a snowy city like Minneapolis-St. Paul uses 260 pounds of road salt per person each winter.
You can go to places like Jewel to buy salt.
Is this a good type of salt to use?
See, this would not be the best type of salt to use. You want to use more of a blue heat deicer type of salt, or even a clean sand alternative. This is good salt that has no powdered residue.
Is this the right way?
No, you want to get it more even and just a little bit so it's not put too much on the ground. So, Kimmy, what did you learn today about road salts?
Well, I learned that we actually do need road salt because without it, the roads will be slippery and cars will get in accidents. But we should use it more efficiently by spreading out evenly and not in clumps. And alternatives such as sand, which increase the traction between the tires and the road, or blue deicer, which, since it's blue, is visible enough to see so you can apply it evenly.
And that way, we'll be killing less fish.
Road salt.
Road salt.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Road salt. Yeah, 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 yeah. Road salt.